Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, we actually have some breaking news. We actually have the panel announcements and we have the confirmed cast and I guess guest list for this year's Comic-Con. And honestly, I am so unbelievably hyped for this because they actually do confirm what we're going to see and all of that. Obviously, in terms of announcements, like them announcing a new show or just like anything like that, like they're not going to say that here, right? Like obviously that'll be saved for Comic-Con and the actual panels, right? And yeah, there's a lot of exciting details here, so I do want to get into this. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. So yeah, we officially have the actual panel times and everything. So The Walking Dead will be in Hall H again, as always, and they'll actually be there on Friday, July 26th. All these times are in Pacific Standard Time or whatever. So if you're, in New York and just like, East Coast or whatever, then that'll be obviously in Eastern Standard Time. So it's 3 hours later. So let's get into, let's save the best for last. And I say that just because obviously Daryl Dixon, they're going to be showing us a lot more. But the first one here is The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2. So we have two panels here. And yeah, this is going to be really exciting because each panel is going to be an hour long. So they're going to be talking about the show for an entire hour here. And the panel for Dead City begins at 1:45 Pacific. And so that's going to go an hour until 2:45. And then at 2:45 Pacific until 3:45 is going to be The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 2. So focusing on Dead City, though, it actually says here, the cast and executive producers discussed the upcoming second season of The Walking Dead Dead City alongside the debut of an exclusive asset before the series returns next year on AMC and AMC Plus. Moderated by Chris Hardwick, which first of all, I just gotta say that. So both panels are being moderated by Chris Hardwick. I don't remember the last panel that he did just because, it's been so long and every year honestly just sort of combines together. And it's just, I've covered Comic-Con for The Walking Dead for so long now that I don't really remember specific years, but I feel like it's been a really long time since we've actually had Chris Hardwick, I guess moderate the panel here. And that's gonna feel really amazing because Talking Dead is a show I miss so much. And I think that's the one thing with The Walking Dead that there's certain elements to it that I think make it feel like The Walking Dead. And like Talking Dead was such a big show for that, and I love Talking Dead because it was just something that like after you watch the show, you had an hour where maybe you had, or not maybe, but you did have, one of the cast members, two or three of the cast members, maybe some of the writers, executive producers, this and that, or you would just have like special guests and they had really cool props on set and whatnot. And it was just like something that after The Walking Dead ended, like, obviously an episode would end that you would get to watch that. And it was really cool. And Chris Hardwick was just like such a big part of that. And I'm just so happy to see him back here. Like this year's Comic-Con, honestly, I am so excited for this. Like this feels like a real Comic-Con because last year I know that there was the strike and all of that. So there were some issues there. The year before, like, honestly, it's so hard to say. The last couple of years, like Comic-Con honestly just hasn't been the best. Like Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera showing up at the very end of I think that was 2 years ago, like that panel. That was really cool, but like there's been so much stuff that has just sort of prevented Comic-Con. There was, for a bit it was online. Like it's really honestly been a long time. And I know I mentioned that recently that, the Comic-Con going into season 9 or 10, it was one of those years was like the best one that I could remember. And I think it's because that was the last time that they were really in person. I know recently they have been, but again, last year there was a strike and whatnot. And this year here just feels very special because you have Chris Hardwick coming back, moderating the panel. And I'm really interested in that because of the questions that he'll ask. Like I haven't really heard him talk about the Rick and Michonne show as well. So it'll be kind of cool to hear him ask Gimple, like, do you have anything else planned? Like, could we ever see Rick and Michonne again? And just seeing what he says, right? So really amazing here. But let's get into the actual panelists here for both shows. So obviously starting with Dead City. Confirmed panelists include Eli Journay, if I'm saying you're saying your last name correctly there. Scott M. Gimple, obviously, we all know who Gimple is. Lauren Cohen, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Gaius Charles, and Jelko Ivanek. I'm probably, well, not probably, I am butchering those names, but yeah, really incredible to actually see them be there, and just to hear Chris Hardwick talking with all of them is going to be really cool. Now for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, let's actually get into a lot more. So this is going to be the bigger event. I mean, both shows are going to be talked about equally, but the Book of Carol, we're going to get a trailer. With Dead City, if you noticed, it did say that we're going to be getting an exclusive asset before the series returns next year. So I imagine that the people at Comic-Con are going to be getting, I guess, like an exclusive teaser or something like that maybe you can only see if you're there. It's probably going to be like a 30-second trailer, a minute trailer or something like that, right, for season 2. I imagine they will post it online or people are going to talk about what they saw. Obviously, in terms of doing videos and stuff, like I'm not going to show any leaked footage because I don't do that, but like if there's descriptions of like what they saw and all that, I'll talk about that. I'll say like, they said this and that, like you get to see this, and I'll sort of react to it. But in terms of actually showing anything, like if it's not officially released, then I'm not going to show anything, right? So yeah, I'm really excited to see, what they show for Dead City. And in terms of Daryl Dixon, it says the cast and executive producers discussed the upcoming second season of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol, alongside the debut of the official trailer before it premieres on Sunday, September 29th on AMC and AMC Plus. Moderated by Chris Hardwick, confirmed panelists include David Zabel, Scott M. Gimple, Greg Nicotero, Norman Reedus, Melissa McBride, and Louis, I can't say that name, but he plays Laurent, obviously, on the show. So really, really cool cast members here. I'm really excited to see them here. Greg Nicotero being there is really cool. Like, honestly, there are certain people within the Walking Dead world that I personally get really excited about, and that's Greg Nicotero because he makes the zombies. I don't know if it's nostalgia. I mean, that could be a part of it too. There's just, like, Greg Nicotero is so good at what he does that it's amazing to see sort of the process of like filming, certain scenes and all of that. And variant walkers, like that's going to be a topic of conversation here, I imagine, right? Like Chris Hardwick is going to ask Greg Nicotero, last season we saw some variant walkers. Are we going to see that this year? And what was it like to actually make a variant walker? And I'm sure he'll talk about it. He'll tease the next, season here and just sort of what we can expect there. And again, I could just feel the excitement. I personally am so excited for this. And it's just in 2 weeks from now. So I really cannot wait. I think that, first of all, we have the official confirmation that we are getting the trailer, right? Which obviously isn't surprising. Like, I figured that they were waiting to release the trailer then. Like, I know that, like, even I heard something that, like, the trailer was supposed to drop, like, not even that long ago. I think that was, like, a month ago or a month and a half ago or something like that. Like, or at least I saw a bit of that. And I was just like, well, I guess that makes sense because it's so quiet. But I think that was because the show was originally supposed to come out in the summertime, and I think smartly they did push it off. Like looking back at it now, imagine if we were watching Daryl Dixon season 2 right now. Yes, that would be cool. Like obviously we all want to watch it, but I think that it was smart of them to push it off until, because it's only 2.5 months away. I think it's exactly 79 days away from now. And it's going to fly by. Like, when they announced that it was pushed off or whatever, that was like a month ago. It was like 30 something days ago already. And like that flew by. So, waiting until Comic-Con, and then we get the trailer, all the hype and the promotion going into August. And then August will fly by. And all of a sudden it's September. And then we just, we get that show at the end of the month. There's going to be a bunch of promotions, new trailers and all of that. All the excitement builds up. So for me, I'm so excited about it because, you're pushing it off until the fall. And I prefer to watch The Walking Dead in the fall. I've said that so many times. So this is incredible. This is really incredible. And I can't wait to see the first trailer. I can't wait to see the artwork. I'm really interested in that. I've seen some stuff online, but it doesn't really seem that official, or at least I am very, very confused at like the artwork and all of that, I guess, for season 2. So I don't think anything official has come out yet for season 2. But as soon as it does, obviously I will break that down. We're probably going to get some stuff from like, outside of Comic-Con, because usually they'll do like artwork on like the buildings, like on the windows and stuff. So in the next week or so, they're probably going to start working on that, putting all that up. And this is really exciting. So for the next 2 weeks here, this is just going to be really crazy. I could definitely see them doing some interviews early next week as well with Entertainment Weekly, because usually that does happen quite a bit, like a week or two beforehand. They usually have interviews with Entertainment Weekly, and they'll post a bunch of stuff. You'll see like a new set photo or a couple of new images or whatever, right? So there's going to be a lot of stuff like that. I wonder for Dead City if we'll get that or not. Dead City is one of those shows that I think they're going to be quiet about for a bit. I think we'll get some more stuff, some more updates. They'll probably show some stuff, but I think we have to wait until The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon is over, which is like early to mid-November. Then we'll probably get, the 30-second teaser or like a minute trailer or something. And then if the show comes out in February, then I imagine, like, that's the thing. I'm sort of going based off of how they usually released. Like, that's the thing that's kind of confusing about a lot of it too, is when you really look at The Walking Dead overall and trying to predict when they're going to release trailers, it was very simple, like with The Walking Dead, because, you would get a trailer at Comic-Con every single year. It was always, that was the trailer. It came out at Comic-Con. And then after, the first half of the season would end, it would be like, mid to late November or whatever. And then you would get like a 30-second teaser for the next episode or like the next couple of episodes. And so you knew what to expect. And then in January, February, building up to the mid-season premiere, you would also get another trailer sort of hyping up, that next episode and all that. So it's hard with like the newer shows because you don't really know what to expect. But I'm guessing it's going to be something like that. We'll get a 30-second teaser, teasing season 2, a release date and all that. We'll probably get that in November. In January, we'll get the official trailer, and then we watch the show in February. And again, I'm just guessing with the release date of February. I think it makes sense because February is usually when you have The Walking Dead out, and I think Last of Us is airing next year, right? Or is it the year after? I'm pretty sure it's airing next year around that time. And then also House of the Dragon as well. Not House of the Dragon, but A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the other Game of Thrones spinoff. That's going to be airing at some point, probably March or April, I'm guessing. And I'm just like, well, if The Last of Us comes out in January, or I don't know when you're going to release it, it just makes sense. February is probably a good time to release, Dead City Season 2. And then this way, if there is 8 episodes and it goes until April, then we have the summer off again, just waiting until September, October, for the premiere of Daryl Dixon Season 3, right? So perfect schedule in my opinion, and obviously maybe we get an announcement of a new spinoff, right? And I don't know if it will come out next year, but maybe the year after. Maybe they're filming next year at some point, and so there's a lot of other news to follow. I have no idea. But yeah, I wanted to break down all the new information here. I'm so excited for Comic-Con. I really cannot wait for this. I will be doing a live stream as well. I'll announce it and talk about more of the details once I know a little bit more, but I will be doing a live stream reacting to all the news and all that, and obviously do a live discussion with all of you. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.